sequences are motivated from one to the next. Even like this, I gotta say, only because I'm so used to the fight sequences in Korean cinema being very brief and sharp, as like I said. I was not, and most of the time hand-to-hand combat and knife, I was not expecting this almost Heat-esque, much more stylized. But if any of you guys have seen Heat, Michael Mann's Heat, that has one of the longest and I think more realistic shootouts that's ever been done. Town probably takes the cake with Ben Affleck. The Town, though, that might have the most realistic heist, whatever. Anyway, so as the characters are converging on I believe at the end of Act 2, is actually what prompts the Thai gang lord to be like, okay, they got to go. Is the what motivates it is this Heat street shootout sequence that is just bananas and balls to the wall. Fucking put some sequences of Bad Boys to shame. Not in terms of, I think Bad Boys has some of the better chase chase chaos sequences ever. Maybe Bad Boys 2. You ever seen Bad Boy? You haven't seen Bad Boys 2? Fuck. But strong and for the most part realistic. Up until the closing moments in that shootout sequence before it goes to Banana Town, but I was all right with it. Even if I did think that Ray the Butcher committed suicide. I thought his character was ending there, and that's not. In fact, I'm still on some level perplexed with it, but I don't care. It's fine. The ending, I'm not going to ruin what happens, but Jesus, so dark and depressing. And I going back to the transgender as mentioned. So as Inam is looking for his child, he gets hooked up with his basically one of the detectives in Bangkok. I think they actually are. Not just Thailand, Bangkok. I'm pretty sure they're in Bangkok where the kid is shipped to, and one of their possible narcs, or what do they call him, a CI, is this transgender, and the on-screen performances by the two of them, Anam and what's the Young Ju, believable as fuck. I was just like, I'm loving this relationship right now, and it's, I mean, they're clearly accepting, but it's still kind of frowned upon, I think, but not to, at least not cinematically, to the point where I felt like there was a stance on it. I was so happy that this strange relationship occurred, and she leads him to the child, and a relationship forms, a bond would be better put, I suppose, and it's so believable and so good. Yeah, but the ending is a little rough. But I say it all the time. Asians give a fuck about your feelings. Don't give a fuck. This is another Well Go USA release, by the way. This is a good one. Super good one. Not like I was so excited for fucking Crazy Samurai 400 versus 1, and nope, this is actually the second one, and you guys got to watch some Korean cinema. I'm telling you. The Swordsman I watched like 2 months ago, was it? 2-3 months ago? That was out of Korea, and this one was out of Korea. Both strong. So strong. And they just, You better watch out, boy. Talking to the West. They're just, I'm telling you, if we're talking, because I am a toxic white male born in the 80s, and I'm trying to deprogram myself from bad habits. I'm not like a fucking racist or anything like that, but I'm not, none of that. There's no Asian hate here, clearly. Look at my fucking catalog. Anyway, I still like people beating each other up, and I'm a Neanderthal, I guess. I'm trying to deny my programming, but I don't think my love for action cinema will ever go away. I don't know if it's a male thing, if it's my love for cinema thing, because I still watch UFC. Most people I know, I would say 99% of the people I know and interact with, have no interest in UFC at all. So, I think that's something I'm always going to like. I'll try to stop the other stuff, whatever it may be. Like this, I when I say I'm toxic, I think I'm not as forgiving as I should be. I'm just kind of like, what are you whining about? Go on now. One foot in front of the other. I just good cinema across all board. I mean, we don't need to bring up Parasite, do we? There's just tons of good cinema coming out of Korea. Watch out. The West better watch out, because this is just as, I don't know what action film I would think outside of John Wick, which we get once every 3-4 years from the West, that's this good, hands down. Yeah, I mean, Jesse V. Johnson's always putting out some good action flicks with Scott Adkins. Those are pretty balls to the walls. If you haven't seen Avengement, if you're in the mood for a easy story but relentless paced fucking bare knuckle ass beat fest, check out Avengement. That movie's hardcore. This movie's hardcore too. I think I mentioned earlier, maybe I'll talk about it, or maybe I did talk about it and we're going to talk about it again because I'm an idiot and my brain goes 2,000 miles an hour and I have anyway. I want to say as a villain, Ray is super flamboyant. Like, we're talking white pants, fucking white shoes with the gold fucking medallion on the tongue, fucking super neoned out shirts, just, floral, silk and floral and fucking, but it doesn't even, it's not like, it's like Gucci, but not, it's like a way more flamboyant Gucci, and he is a goddamn killer. In like an evil mother, and believable, not in like the juxtaposition is confusing to me. No, it's super, super evil. It's super believable. Like when he tells a story about why they call him the Butcher and how, I was like, damn, he mean as fuck. Testament to Lee Jung-jae's acting. Whew. Not chills because I'm desensitized as a motherfucker, but enough to where I was like, he is someone I don't mind rooting against. And what he's doing, what he's willing to do, what he does. Whew. And also, no slouch himself for being, more renowned for, the equivalent to a fucking Korean's Jackie Chan, Hwang Jun-min, who's been in tons of action. No slouch in the acting department here. I was sad as well. Let's just say I was sad. I don't want to ruin, I don't want to ruin anything. But I was believable. We're talking about action star practice. We're talking about action stars here, making you feel, making you believe. Foreign action stars at that. Y'all got to watch more movies. Not YouTubies. Or watch YouTubies. Do whatever you want. Support whatever media you want. Keep art alive, right? when you actually IMDb some of this shit, like this comes up and you see favorite action movies are suggested list. I don't know if I would go that far. This is just a good movie that has action in it. You guys ever seen, talking to no one as per usual, you ever seen The Man from Nowhere? That's also a Korean film. That was done like over a decade ago. Fucking just a good movie that has better action sequences that you see in 10 years here. Why do you always bring it up so much? Because somebody listening, I've gotten enough feedback, somebody listening is going to make a film one day, and they're going to have my dumb voice chirping in their head going, pre-plan is a motherfucker. Pre-production's the fucking key. Not only action films, but fucking, like, if you're going to do sharp action sequences, just film in general. And I think any filmmaker will tell you that. Like, the older they got, the more seasoned they got, pre-production as a motherfucker just helps things way more. And it's not to say that we don't do that in Western action films. That are, films out of America, action films out of America. It's not to say we don't do that. We just don't do it enough. It really is, if you take the John Wick movies aside, it really is very few and far between. You get tired. And that's only because I'm a huge action fan, and I think I guess America just has different tastes. Like, Michael Bay always joke, or was it Bruckheimer or Bay? I think it's Michael Bay, says he'll just keep making Transformers because you keep paying to go see it. I just wish that existed for more realistic action sequences. And then the time, just like, picture it like this. If you progress to it, it's way more fun. Like, we start out with hand-to-hand combat. And then we have a 4-minute hand-to-hand combat fight. And then later in the film we have a knife fight. And then, like, maybe the end-all be-all, then it's a gunfight sequence. Maybe. Possibly. Doesn't need to be. Or then you have that crazy fucking car chase. It's doable. And we don't. Right? This pre-plan is a motherfucker. It'll take you a while for the pre-production, especially you're writing storyboarding these action sequences, because Inam, played by Wang Junmin, he's after his long lost daughter, sort of not really long lost, but he's after his daughter. I know this story. I know this story. The fucking the villain, Ray the Butcher. He's mad that Inam killed his brother. I know this story. Don't worry, I have a point. The fucking Thai gang lord, child abduction guy, most awful man in the film. Well, it's a Thai, him and Ray. There was a giant shootout at one of his fucking organ harvesting houses. They got to go. I know this story. But how it's presented to me fucking works on all levels. All the fucking performances that you may sometimes lack in a Western performance, or seem throwaway because of the lines, or because the story it's not strong enough, whatever. I'm seeing two guys that just fucking put on a action choreography fight sequence clinic, and now I'm getting super sad watching them act. It comes few and far between. But it can be done. Same with Man from Nowhere. I was so fucking happy. I was just, oh, really? Oh. Same with this one. I still like the ending. Even though I was sad, I thought the ending was really good. And we had just absolutely relentless pace from the jump on this one. Like, it literally starts, I think, with the conversation of are you going to do this one last I have one last mission for you. And you're like, wow, if you're an audience member, I got to see how this goes.